Hello, hello, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. I have a headache. So, what's the best thing to do about that? Well, apparently it's reading gay porn for a couple hours. So that's what we're gonna do, okay, everyone? Once I step out of the training building, the warm orange-colored sun rays touch upon my skin. It feels really good. The orange-tinted sky looks so gentle and mild. Today really is a beautiful day. Oh, there you are! Eh? I hear a nearby voice and reflexively turn around. Standing there are three of my classmates. Jin? Gin? Rep? The fox smiles at me. Her smile is warm and kind, almost the same as the afternoon sun. She makes me feel at ease. What a coincidence, Yuichi. I was just looking for you. For me? What could you possibly need from me? Wait, it's not bad news, is it? She softly giggles, crossing her arms. That's right, her name is Ayako Kitsunegawa. Okay. She is our class president this year, once again. She might be one of the calm and... she seems like one of the calm and collected type, but she's very much a bona fide sadist. But those personality quirks aside, she's usually a very caring and responsible person. Most of us have been in her care since freshman year. To be honest, there have been very few changes to our class since we joined this school. Other than Shoichi being bumped up to the advanced class, that is. I'm sorry, but I just might be the bearer of bad news. I've been sent here on official business. I should have guessed. You never come when it's good news. Well, now that's a bit unfair, isn't it? Despite dreading whatever news she might be about to give us, her laugh certainly makes me feel less anxious. But, not to be a negative Nancy, but if you're here on official business, then what are these two doing here? What? These two? And after all we went through, all this trouble to track you down, we had track work to attend to, you know. Well, Jin sure is rowdy even this late in the afternoon. Don't mind him, Yuichi-kun. We were actually heading home earlier when we bumped into Ayako. She asked us to keep watch of the exit to the men's locker room while she went in through the other side. Whoa. Nissan, don't blab on me to him. Asai. Also, since when do you call her Chan? That makes sense. Since this used to be an all-boys academy up until a few years ago, not all the buildings have been retrofitted to accommodate female locker rooms. Ordinarily, the tennis and volleyball courts actually had two locker rooms on separate ends of the building to separate the different clubs. But now the guys and girls are both... the guys and girls of both clubs share lockers instead, and doors were built into the locker rooms so they could access both courts. I see. So you were going to work as a glorified doorman while the rep went in through the girls' locker room to look for me, huh? Whoa, no. It's not like that. Well, doesn't he like... yeah. Well, doesn't he like to sound important? Class rep giggles again. She hasn't said anything. Let me move my microphone just a little bit. I think that might help. She hasn't said anything and just settled into watching these two bicker. Did she bring them along in the hopes that she'd get to see this very same situation unfold? Wow, she really is a sadist. By the way, these two guys in front of me, might not look it, but they're actually twin brothers. The larger one, Junichiro Nezumiro, is the oldest of the two. He's much more mellow and easy to deal with than his brother, but despite this all, he can be really intense when it comes to food. Ah, okay. The other, Junichiro Nezumiru, is definitely one of the rowdiest people I've ever met. He's slow, dim, and has a short fuse. But despite these shortcomings, the two of them are genuinely nice people, and I definitely enjoy spending time with them every now and then. So, class rep, what exactly did you come here to tell me? Ah, that's right, sorry. I was having so much fun with the atmosphere that I forgot. I'm sure you were purposefully staying out of it so you could watch them bicker for a while longer. To be honest, Katsuguri-sensei asked me to come fetch you. She didn't tell me exactly what's going on, but it was something about today's morning assembly. Oh, yeah, that's right, you skipped today again. I imagine she was probably pissed. I don't think she would have minded it so much if you actually bothered to show up to any of the meetings organized over the school year. Well, I can't help it. These are all so boring. That definitely sounds like something you'd say. Well, you shouldn't worry so much. I've done my best to smooth things over with her, so she's only a little annoyed now. Wow, really? That's so nice of you, class rep. Hey, it really is. How come you never try to smooth things over for me when I'm the one getting in trouble? Once you become an important asset to the school's reputation like Yuichi-kun, then I just might. Huh. Don't say that, Ayako. It's not Chan. Please refer to me as Kitsunegawa-san or class rep. You're kidding. I don't even get to call you by your first name. Even though her words might have sounded harsh, she had a wide grin on her face. No doubt about it, she's only doing this to tease Jin. And he's so dumb that he's falling for it. Jin, maybe we should head home already. I guess so. I've got a mountain of homework to do. Oh my, a mountain? I don't remember being assigned any homework today. Well, that's because he slacked off last year and didn't actually finish all of his credits he needed to pass. So he's having to deal with them now. Oh my, I'm surprised the school even allowed him to do that. Nissan, you didn't have to tell her that. These two sure are full of energy to every day. I didn't even realize how much I missed their attitude during spring break. How can I put it? Seeing them like this is kinda refreshing. I'm not all that surprised that he was given an extension, though. Our school is pretty lax when it comes to people in the athletics program. We got tons of exposure from them after all. We have some of the best teams in the country in multiple sports. Well, this was a fun little chat, but I guess I really should get going to the faculty office. Sensei's mood is probably just gonna get worse if I make her wait. That's probably a wise decision. Yeah, dude. It was an honor meeting you. Don't just write me off like that. Hey, Yuichi-kun, how about we grab a bite to eat together one of these days? Ah, sure. Show me another nice restaurant and I'll take you up on that offer. Okay, it's a deal. Nissan, how come you're so buddy-buddy with Yuichi-san? I'm kinda jealous. I'd rather avoid this unpleasant encounter, but given the class rep was the one tasked with giving me the message, I'm sure there's no way I could go home without her reporting the fact that she managed to pass it along. In other words, I'm dead anyway. Might as well go peacefully. I walk into the main building. By the way, other than the multiple shit, I can't read. Whoops. Minor buildings for the different athletics departments. Our school is divided into 3 main buildings. There's the main building, which, among others, house the faculty office and the club rooms for the most high-profit clubs, or the ones that the most expensive equipment. Then there's the classroom building. It's a much smaller building with only 3 floors, one of each of the grades. Over here in our school, each grade is divided into A to E, so we have 15 classrooms in total, 5 for each floor. The senior year is a little different in the A classes, specifically for advanced studies. It's where they house the most promising students and pass them along classes designed to prepare for college entrance exams and college life in general. Of course, joining 3A isn't mandatory, but there are always a few students that decline it. Class rep was offered a spot with them, but she refused. Said something about wanting to see her duties as class representative to the end. Oh, and the third building is the club building. It's where most of the other club rooms are located. Our school is pretty well known in the country, and we have lots of people applying every year, and just getting in is quite difficult. Well, it goes without saying that I had no issue with our entrance exams. Some of the students in here might look like a bunch of good-for-nothings, but every needs to have the same measure of intelligence to get in. Although I still have my doubts when it comes to Jin. Right ahead of me, walking over to the entrance, are 2 other classmates of mine. Oh, Kyoko-san, Ryoji, what are you 2 doing here? And wait, why are you 2 together? The girl, Kyoko Nekonishi, okay, fires a threatening glare at me. Despite her looks, she can be quite threatening when she wants to. Of course, I'm close friends with Saya, so something at this level can't faze me. Excuse me, could you please not assume something so ridiculous? We just happen to be leaving at the same time. The other guy, Ryuji Kumagawa, doesn't even look like he's acknowledged us at all, even though he did stop walking when I called out to them. Ryoji? Is he ignoring me? Ryoji furrows his brows, staring even more intently at his gaming console on his hands. Ah, that's true. Ryoji is a video game maniac, so he always seems to have a console in his hand. I swear, sometimes I could look his way during class, and he'll have his console hidden behind his textbook. So, if he really thought such a thing could fool anyone. But despite that, he still gets consistently high grades, so the teachers never completely complain about his attitude. Heading home. Ah, he spoke. Is he just feeling a bit shy? It's true that he doesn't tend to participate in conversation unless it's about video games. Were you 2 visiting your club rooms or something? Kyoko nods, a hearty smile on her face. Haughty? Yeah, okay. She's always so prim and proper, but she tends to act all ladylike most of the time. Well, despite her distant attitude, she's not a bad person at heart. I've been made responsible for the fashion club for this year, so I was just turning in all of the required paperwork at the faculty office. Ryoji nods along too. Dealing with paperwork for the game dev club. Wait, game dev club? We have one of those at school? Just as those words leave my mouth, Ryoji glares at me. Unlike Kyoko, having a 6-foot-tall brown bear glaring at you is a really frightening thing, and I can't help but feel a chill run down my spine. Sorry, I swear I wasn't making fun of it or anything. That seems to appease him as his gaze softens up, looking down at his game console. Geez, it's really not safe to walk around staring at a piece of hardware all the time, you know. What about you, Yuji-san? Do you also have paperwork to deal with? Oh, wait. That wouldn't be right. I thought Saya-chan was the one in charge of the tennis club this year. Yeah, Saya-chan's heading for the tennis club. I've been made vice captain, but really, I'm just along for the ride because she's made me do it. Whew, that really does sound like Saya-chan. Despite their completely opposite personalities, I've heard that Saya and Kyoko have become good friends since we met 3 years ago. Although Kyoko still spends most of her time around the class rep. They've known each other since childhood, after all. Well, if it's not paperwork, then what are you doing here? There's no club meetings for us regular folk right at the first day of school, and your club doesn't have a room here in the first place. Well, Katsuragi, yeah, sensei sort of asked me to go meet her. Kyoko's expression immediately goes dark. Whoa, what did you do to piss her off this time? Why do you just assume I did something wrong? This is you we're talking about. You just have that quality that pisses off most teachers. Hey! I think so too. Ryoji nods, his eye still on his game console. Don't just casually agree with her on that. Kyoko laughs. Even when she's casually goofing off, her mannerisms are incredibly refined. Well, she is the daughter of a pretty wealthy family. In fact, they actually own the school. Well, make sure to tell me the story behind it later. I'd love to hear what kind of punishment the old hag had cooked up this time. See you tomorrow. Don't say cruel things so casual. Ugh. She's gone. She really is good at slipping away unnoticed. It is a cat thing. Ah, Ryuji is still here, though. Hey, Ryuji, what game are you playing right now? Moonfighter Rangers. Ah, that one game that's based on that children's anime? How many seasons does that thing even have? I think I remember it airing when I was 8. Ryuji nods casually, not bothering to confirm or deny what I just said. As always, making conversation with him can be hard. Is the game fun? He looks up at me with a confident expression, a conflicted expression. Wait, what's that look for? Shouldn't you be headed to see the teacher? He caught on to the fact that I was just trying to stall. Yeah, you can be surprisingly perceptive at times, Ryuji. Unnecessarily so. Ryuji nods, pulling a piece of toast from his bag and munching on it. It's in his bag? Oh, that's great! This man loves his bread. I love it. It's kind of sad because I know this man's probably not romanceable because he only has the one portrait probably, and he doesn't have like the thingy here. But I think he's my favorite so far. Yeah. What a gamer. Wait, a piece of toast? From his bag? The hygiene implications of that I've just witnessed scare me a bit. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see ya. Off he goes. I'm jealous. I wish I could just walk away like that. I've been walking along to the third floor where the faculty office is located. I don't want to go in. But I know that if I don't show up soon, she'll get angrier. Better to get this over with. Kind of like ripping off a band-aid. Even though ripping off band-aids is incredibly painful for me because they always end up ripping a ton of fur off. Alright, I won't get anything done if I just stand around. Take a deep breath and... The sound of my knock echoes through the empty hallway. My heart is beating really fast right now. Even though I've been skipping these things since my first day of class, this is the first time I've been called in because of it. I just kind of assumed I'd keep getting special treatment because of my status as a tennis player. Come in. Pardon the intrusion. It doesn't take much to look around to find Katsuragi, sensei. She's sitting on her chair, legs crossed and turned all the way to look at the door. She has her hand leaning against her closed fist, and she looks incredibly intimidating from a regular old woman. Michimiya, I was wondering how long it would take you to show up. And just by her tone, I can already tell the situation is mostly hopeless. No, I'm still trying to act dumb. Maybe that'll save me. I wish. Michimiya-kun, you must know why it is that I called you over, right? Well, to be perfectly honest, it's not as, if I don't particularly know what kind of reason would lead you to decide against not calling me. You're talking in circles to try to confuse me now. That's cute, but it certainly isn't going to work. Sit. Yes, ma'am. Thoroughly defeated. We certainly appreciate the amount of exposure your name gives the school, and it's not as if you're doing badly with your studies either, and given that you're always placing quite high in the school ranks. Yes, I see. I'm doing pretty well, so let me finish. Yes, ma'am. Katsuragi-sensei sighs, picking up a folder that was on the top of her desk and opening it up. Is that a file on me? I can see here that your academic records continue to worsen with each passing year. All of your teachers keep mentioning a continuing lack of interest on your part. Not only that, if I pull up your records from grade school and middle school, the drop is almost immediately apparent. Well, one can't live solely on past accomplishments, right? If that was the only reason for this drop, then I'd certainly let you off the hook, but we both know that's not the real reason, so may we just cut to the chase. Scary. She's really scary. Katsuragi-sensei used to be our homeroom teacher up until last year, but she recently got a promotion and became the head teacher and coordinator for the school. So she doesn't have any classes to deal with this year, and instead oversees the programs for all of the classes in school. It's an unenviable position. Just thinking of the amount of work she must have already gives me a headache. If only you were trying hard when then I could forgive you for this. It's not as if a person can continue to excel for their entire life. Drops as productively are to be expected. But you've completely stopped trying, haven't you? I've also spoken to your coach, and he's told me that you've completely stagnated when it comes to tennis as well. What would he know about it? It's not like he even bothers coming to practice. I wasn't done talking. Yes, ma'am. Coach Mitoko theorized that you've been going through a rough period caused by extreme stress due to all the expectations placed on you for the past 6 years. If that is the case, I'd very much like you to see our school's psychiatrist, and with all due respect, but would that be obligatory? Obligatory? Yeah. Well, no, we cannot force a student to see a psychiatrist unless he's deemed to be in direct need of psychological assistance. Then I'll pass. I'll find my own way. Thank you very much. I don't have any, complicated problems like that. I'm just not interested in paying attention in class, that's all. She sighs again, rubbing the bridge of her nose with a furrowed brow. So you'll prefer taking full responsibility for your failures over letting someone help you deal with your situation? Given your talent, I'd imagine you'd want to become a professional. I can't bring myself to confidently say that that's my plan. I'll let you off the hook this time. Huh? Why? I did just say that I've been doing all this on purpose, haven't I? Call it intuition, if you will, but I don't believe punishing you for your lack of motivation will somehow help you become more motivated. I stand up from my chair with a half jump, suppressing the urge to grab her into a tight hug. Thank you, Katsuguri-sensei. You really are much nicer than I gave you credit for. Of course, we have yet to discuss your punishment for skipping on the morning assembly. The old fox smiles, looking up at me with a devious look. What? You didn't really think I'd give you a pass for willingly and with full knowledge of your actions, skipping the assembly to welcome our newest students for the third time in a row, did you? Of course not. The thought never crossed my mind. I'm doomed. I end up being forced to be on cleaning duty for the next week as punishment for my actions. Considering everything I've done, I suppose I had it coming, but I really wish I had managed to go home free. What's this now? Now that I think about it, I think I can hear something. It sounds like music. Come to think of it, there's a music room nearby, isn't there? But I thought the only music club still operating in our school was the light music club. This sounds more like classical piano. Not that I know exactly anything about music in the first place. It's just a feeling I have. Is someone using it at this hour? It's almost 6 p.m. I guess I'm a little curious about it. Whoever it is, this person's plays really well. Maybe this is a recording. No, but it's not coming from the school speakers. And the audio quality is too high. It really sounds like a real deal. Maybe I should go take a look. It certainly wouldn't hurt to take a peek. I mean, why not? Before I can even consciously make a choice, I feel as if my legs are working on their own, dragging me towards the origin of the music. It's as if the piano is calling out to me. I want to listen from up close. No, I need to listen from up close. But who could possibly be playing this? The classical music club has been disbanded for a few years, and all that's left is an old room with some dusty instruments. Maybe it's a teacher or a freshman. No, wait, club activities haven't started yet, so there's no way they'd allow a freshman to be using a club room already. But before I notice it, I'm already at the door. That's really close. I nearly walked in without thinking. How would that person even react to it? What would I even say? Sorry I barged into the room, but could you keep playing the piano for me? But then again, this does sound really good. Crap, it's just going around in circles with this logic. Screw it, I'll just sneak in. The piano is so loud, they might not even notice in the first place. I slide the door open as gently as I can. I peek into the room, looking around for the source of the music. And that's when I see him. A boy sitting in front of the piano, his figure bathed by the orange rays of the sun that are coming in from the nearby window. He's rocking back and forth to the rhythm of the music, his fingers dancing above the keys in a flurry of strokes that are too fast for even for me to properly track. The entire time, this pleased smile is plastered across his face, never faltering for even a second. And speaking of which, are his eyes closed? How can someone even play a piano without looking at it? How can that even be possible? Driplets of sweat drip down his face, but his expression doesn't falter for even a second. Damn, this guy is intense. His fur, an intense fiery orange with, when tinted by the evening sun's rays, sways gently from side to side with each of and every movement of his body. I can feel the music slowly envelop me, almost as if it really were calling me. It's telling me to come closer. I can't take my eyes off his performance. I can feel his music echoing deep inside of me. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I know I want to feel more of it. I feel a tightness in my chest, as if I might suffocate, and yet, it's not unpleasant at all. It's like countless waves are crashing against my body. Everything else is blurry, muddled. The boy and his piano are the only things in focus. They're the only thing that feels real right now. The closer I get, the harder it is to keep my thoughts in order. I can't even notice whether my legs are moving or not, but it's still a fact that I'm approaching him. Nothing else feels important right now, so I ignore everything else and just focus on the piano. The piano. Then, as if the spell was broken, I'm jolted back to reality when the pain shooting up my leg. It seems that in my daze, I need one of the tables by accident. It freaking hurts. Son of a... Oh, wait, the piano stopped? I look back to the piano and... the tiger is holding onto the piano, trying to keep himself from falling out of his chair. Wait, he fell backwards from his chair. Ah, I see. I see. He gets back up to his knee on his knees, bringing a hand to his head, rubbing it painfully. Ow. Oh God, I really hope he didn't hit his head. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Before I could run over to him, the boy manages to get himself back on the chair, proceeding to get up and turn to me. The boy looks away from me. His whole face turns red. His tail lashes nervously behind him, like a concerned, frightened cat. God, I really did a number on him, huh? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to scare you. The boy relaxes, if only slightly. He crosses his arm and sits upright on the chair. Sorry, I didn't know, there were still other students here around. Can't help you. Can I help you with something? Oh, no. Sorry for staring. I don't think I've ever seen him before. And I know for a fact that most freshmen wouldn't be in this building today unless they had some business in the faculty office. Did he just wander in here and just got into the club room? No, but it would be kept locked in the first place. There's no way he'd have been able to get in. He doesn't really strike me as a freshman. He doesn't have that innocent, hopeful spark that you can see in the eyes of most freshmen. I'm sorry to ask so suddenly, but are you a freshman here? Because you certainly don't look like it. The boy blinks a few times, cocking his head to the side. Then, as he looks down at his own uniform, he seems to understand my question. No, I mean, I'm new here, but I just transferred to this school today. I'm actually a senior. I had a few problems at home this morning and ended up... And because I got here too late, I think... he's going. I get it. Slow down. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking too fast again. Again, is this a common occurrence for him? Still, he doesn't, he talks so fast that I can't even keep up with what he's saying. He's kind of giving me a headache. He definitely, looks like a high-energy type. No, that's not the weirdest thing. How can you say so much about yourself to someone you've just only met? Wait. Is he still taking crap? I've been so caught up in my own thoughts that I wasn't paying attention. I'm not really into... Oh, he's still... Okay, oh, I can read this one. It was really out of tune, though. So it took me some time to get it up and running again. The boy strokes the keys of the piano, smiling gently at them. The piano seems to calm down a bit, and I have to admit, he has a beautiful smile when he lets his guard down. Wait, isn't he relaxing a bit too much? He completely forgot that I'm here. He's just fawning over the piano right now. Ahem. He certainly is energetic, I'll give him that. Did you say you got here after today's... You got here just after today's classes ended? Yeah, I did. Why? Well, it's just... I pointed towards the clock right above the whiteboard. It's already 15 past 6. He looks towards the direction I'm pointing at, slowly, almost like clockwork. I swear I can almost hear the clicking sound of his head turning. Once he sees the clock, he freezes. This guy's too much. Did he not notice time passing? This guy is completely orange, for God's sake. No way! I didn't even get to find my class yet. What am I going to do? At this point, it's clear as day that he's panicking. And I am probably a horrible person because watching him acting this way is incredibly funny. And maybe I could do something nice for him and show him around. It's not like he's a bad guy, just a little rough around the edges. But then again, I'm not exactly fond of the idea of hanging out with someone I don't know. Wow, I can just be a dick. I mean, I'll show him around, like, whatever. It's all good. Well, I suppose I'm free right now. I can show you around some of the more important areas of the school if you'd like. I do feel bad for scaring him like that when I came in. Poor guy almost had a heart attack. I remember Shoichi telling me a while ago that I'm always too unfriendly to new people, so I try my best to sound warm and kind. It feels refreshing somehow. It's been a while since I've legitimately tried to be friendly to someone new. Really? Really? His eyes go so wide that I can barely even make out the color of his irises now. This guy has such dramatic shifts and emotions that it's starting to give me whiplash. Sure, we'd have to be quick though. They'll probably close things up in about an hour. Could you just tell me what classroom you were assigned to? It was class 3B. 3B? Then that means... Oh, it's the same as me. He smiles from ear to ear, his eyes nearly twinkling with excitement. Really? That makes everything a lot easier. Oh, by the way, my dad told me something about this school having special classes for seniors. Can you tell me about that? Special classes? You mean college prep? If so, it's just a specific class where they give students some extra classes to prepare them for entrance exams. So the best students get special treatment. Isn't that kind of unfair? Not really. You're allowed to move to that class until... you are allowed to move up to that class until the last month of class, so really, anyone can join it as long as they work hard enough. That's not true. I mean, even if I studied 25 hours a day, I'd still never place in the top 50. Yo, same. What? How much do you actually usually score on your tests? I've never had more than a 50 in any test I've ever taken. What? Is this for real? You need an 80-point average to graduate, you know. He freezes yet again. Even his tail is completely frozen mid-motion. How is he doing that? And there he goes again. No way, no way! What am I going to do now? No one told me this when I applied to this school. How did you even pass the transfer exam anyway? I heard it's harder than our midterms. I didn't take one. They took me in for the music program. In other words, kind of like a scholarship. Well, I suppose if they've allowed you in without testing you, they might just lower the passing score for you. At least I hope they do. This guy is seriously hopeless if they don't. Is that so? You really had me worried just now. Completely back to normal already? Anyway, I'm Jun. Jun Kobayashi. Pleased to meet you. You know, I expected Tora to be in his name, but, you know, given the naming scheme for half the characters so far, I hesitate for a second when he extends his hands towards me. This guy is completely throwing me off my pace. As soon as I grab his hand, he starts shaking my hand excitedly. Actually, maybe too excitedly. Okay, way too much excitement. Alright, that's enough for now, okay? He looks completely completely clueless as I pull my hand away from his death grip. Geez, this guy isn't normal by any definition of the word. I'm Yuichi Michimiya. It's nice to meet you too. Yuichi Michimiya, huh? It's a wonderful name. I really like it. Huh? Well, thank you, I guess. Yeah. Thank you anyway. If you don't mind, we should probably get going already. It's starting to get late. Oh, right, I forgot. He dives behind the piano and picks up his bag. There are books and papers falling out of it. This guy really looks like a messy type. Nothing out of the ordinary at the bag itself, though. The owner apparently makes up for the black bag's plainness. Shall we? We leave the music room, and I start showing him around the school. Wow, this school's really big. We haven't even seen everything, and my legs are already trembling from all the walking. I think that's more to do with you being out of shape, and less to do with the school size. Though I should probably hold off on saying something that tactless. Hey, Michimiya. Michimiya. What about the other side of the lockers? The other side? He's talking about the door to the volleyball court. Wait, should I even let him go there in the first place? When I took him to the tennis court, he just kept walking around like a kid in amazement, shouting things like, "So this is what a tennis court looks like," and "It's so amazing!" He even took a few pictures. God knows what those are about. That's for the volleyball courts. I don't think I'm allowed to take you there, though. I'm not a member of that club. What about the tennis club? Do you have permission to take me there? I think that big tennis bag I'm carrying with me should be enough to tell him I'm a member, but this guy is apparently very dense. Well, I'm a member. Shouldn't the clothes and the big tennis bag I carry around tip you off to that? Wow, really? I've never watched a match live, but it totally looks like an awesome sport. I don't know any rules, though. Too much. This guy is too much. He has way too much gas in his tank. I don't know how to deal with people like that. Yuichi? Just as I hear a voice calling out to me, Shoichi's head pokes out from behind a couple lockers. As soon as he notices me, he smiles and walks up to us. He's completely covered in sweat. His clothes look like they've been submerged in water. What are you doing here? I thought you left already. He finally notices Kobayashi, yeah, who seems to have tried to hide behind me. Who's this, a new club member? Kobayashi's entire body goes stiff, and he steps out from behind me. All of his motions have suddenly turned mechanical. I'm Jun Kobayashi. It's very nice to meet you. For some reason, he seems even more nervous around Shoichi than he was with me. Shoichi studies him for a few seconds, looking incredibly interested in him. Kobayashi, huh? If I'm not mistaken, you're the student I was asked to accompany today. Me? Kobayashi looks to be in shock, taking a step back and nearly choking on his own words. To be honest, even I'm a little bit surprised. Shoichi was asked to meet a new student? For what? You know about me? Yeah, one of the teachers was supposed to show you around school today, but she called in sick. Since I'm the student council president, I was asked to do it in her stead, but you never showed up. Almost as if he was stabbed by an invisible arrow, Kobayashi's entire body shivers at Shoichi's merciless words. And here I waited for almost an hour, losing my first class of the day because you didn't show up. Another invisible arrow. You know, I really wish people would call beforehand if they happen to be late for something. It's not like everyone has infinite free time like some people, right? Kobayashi slumps his shoulders in defeat, mumbling for an incoherent apology. The fact that Shoichi could say all this with a smile on his face, though. Scary. Shoichi you're scary. He says he got here a bit late and the gate was already closed, so it's not entirely his fault, right, Kobayashi? Kobayashi nods. Yes, I'm sorry I was late. I had been living in a different town until recently and ended up getting lost. I'm so sorry to have inconvenienced you. In what is certainly an uncharacteristic moment for him, Shoichi examines Kobayashi as if he didn't know what to make of the situation. I guess I'm not the only one who's getting thrown off his pace by this guy. Well, it's alright, I suppose. I was mostly joking anyway. It didn't look like you were. I've already been informed of your circumstances. If you want, I can give you a quick tour. Oh, no. It's alright. Michimiya already did. Shoichi looks at me, dumbstruck. Wait. Michimiya-kun? You helped? A stranger? Of his own free will? Seriously? Don't look at me. Don't look so surprised about it. Yeah, I did. Got a problem with that? Not at all. It was just really unexpected. Have you already taken him to the faculty office? The faculty office? Why would I have taken him there? Shuichi stares at me in surprise. New students have to be assigned a teacher, as well as their counselor when they join. You should know this. You did it 2 years ago. Oh, now that he mentions it, I do remember something like that. Wait, is this why I'm always having to deal with Katsuguri-sensei? I honestly didn't remember. Oh, I completely forgot. You don't have to look at me with such disappointed eyes. It's not my fault, you know. You can't expect me to remember that. It was a whole 2 years ago. It's no problem. I mean, even if we didn't get to finish everything today, he still helped out a lot. Judging from Shoichi's expression, I guess even he must be having serious problems coming up with things to say in this situation. He does tend to take his responsibilities quite seriously, so he's probably trying to figure out how much he can still do before school closes. Well, I guess it should be fine. I'll explain to the teacher in charge of the admission that you couldn't show up today. I'm sure he'll understand. There's not much we can do since all the teachers have already gone home, so just hang tight until tomorrow, okay? Actually, Kobayashi-kun, san, would you mind if I borrow Michimi? I need him to help me with something. Oh, okay. It's fine. Though I was looking forward to seeing the volleyball courts. It's fine if you want to. I can take you to the courts. I was just going to ask Michimiya. Suichi stumbles on his speech when he says my name. For some reason, he tends to treat everyone very formally when around other students, even his own friends. Still, it sounds pretty weird to hear my last name come out of his mouth, and I'm sure it must have been weirder for him to say it. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to calling him by his last name. If it bothers you so much, why are you doing it? Soichi starts rubbing the back of his neck. You're supposed to use polite speech when you're first introduced to someone, after all. Stop being so stuck up and call me by my name. You're trying too much to sound like an adult. It's creepy and annoying. Kobayashi starts laughing. Shoichi glares at me. I'm sorry. It's okay. He takes a moment to steady his breath before he tries to resume talking. If you feel uncomfortable calling him that, then you don't need to force yourself just because I'm around. Actually, I really hate polite speech. If you'd prefer, you can just call me June. I know I'd like it better if you did. Shoichi ponders it for a second before nodding. Alright, in that case, you can call me Shoichi. Jun-kun bows excitedly. This time he doesn't look like a clockwork piece. Well, since that's out of the way, you can look at the volleyball courts all you want. I'm the only one around right now. I was actually hoping to get Yuichi to help me with my training. Shoichi looks at me expectantly. I think of backing out, but when I turn around, I see June beaming with excitement. Alright, fine, but let's not take too long, okay? I was intending to go home soon. Yeah, no problem. I think I'll end the part here. That sounds alright. So, I'll see you around, everyone.